Hi, it's Kim Bockney, the Vagina Coach, and I'm here with the Kegel Release Curve and my vulva puppet. And I want to talk a little bit about this amazing product. This was designed by a pelvic floor physiotherapist and mom of two named Kate Roddy out of Toronto. And she sent one to me to have a go with. And it is, so I had previously sold wands, pelvic wands, which I do support. They're great for home use, perineal massage, as well as trigger point release and kind of working towards releasing hypertonic muscles. I also had a product called the Epino, which if anybody who's been following me for a while knows that it was taken out of the Canadian market a little over a year ago now. And it was heartbreaking for me because that's really what started me on this path to promoting pelvic health. It's a great product if you can get your hands on one. But this is a really great option because we don't have the Epino anymore. And in some ways, maybe it's a bit better, I don't know. But it is stainless steel and there are two ends, so super comfortable to hold. And there's as you can see, the smaller end, and then there's a larger end on the bottom. And I just wanted to show you a little bit from a perineal massage perspective, so birth preparation perspective, how you can use this. Perineal massage typically is, usually you're using your thumbs, and when I'm teaching it, it's often where you're lying down in sort of a semi-reclined position and you insert your thumbs. Unless you have a partner to do it with you or for you, it can be quite challenging to reach around your belly and to get in and to actually do it properly, and to be able to get to the point where you feel like you can relax your muscles. Because when you're working so hard to get your thumbs inserted, it can be a bit challenging to then relax the muscles, which perineal massage is often thought of as just a stretching, but I view it more as a way to learn how to yield to sensations of stretch and pressure and discomfort. And if we're working so hard to get our thumbs in place and it can sometimes be harder for us to actually learn to relax in that pose. So if you have somebody to do it for you, that's great, but I really like this tool as well. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to take, I actually recommend the bigger end first. And what you're going to do is you're going to lubricate this, and you're going to lubricate your vulva as well. And then you're going to gently insert it. And what I like about, if you kind of see how it's tapered, so it's wider in the end, and then it tapers off. And so going in, you'll feel a bit more of a stretch perhaps, and then allow it to go in, and then you're actually it kind of like you press down, you can press to the sides, but I also want you to feel what it's like to allow it to come out. Whoops, that came out a little bit faster than I wanted it to because it's a plush puppet, but allow it to come out slowly so that you can experience what it's like for something to be contributing to sensations of stretch and pressure, and you then needing to relax to allow it to come out. So you get it in beyond the bulbous, so that it's actually a little bit, it's in the thinner range, so to speak. And then as you're pulling it out, it's contributing to a little bit more stretch. And you, instead of wanting to kind of resist and feel afraid of that, you need to embrace and allow and surrender to that, the width of it getting bigger. Because ultimately, when the babe is coming out, the average size of a baby's head is a 10 centimeter diameter. So we don't necessarily need to practice getting to a 10 centimeter diameter over and over and over, but we want to experience what it's like to have something contributing to stretch and contributing to sensations that may want us to retract, but we need to blossom, we need to embrace, we need to surrender to that. So perineal massage is done usually around 35 to 37 weeks of pregnancy. It's usually done for about 10 minutes a day. And this is a really great tool to help make it more accessible for self-perineal massage if you don't have a partner. But a partner can also do this for you or with you. If this end is a little bit intimidating at the start, then you also have the option of the small end as well. So that's perineal massage in terms of pregnancy preparation. Once the baby is born, one more thing I'm going to say on that is this can be warmed. So if you run this or under warm water, or just soak it in a dish of warm water, it will heat up and it can make it a little bit more comfortable. When there's heat, we're usually a little bit more able to relax. And then once your baby is born, you can put this in the fridge, make it a little bit cold. You don't want to put it in the freezer, but once it's cold, and sometimes even just stainless steel itself is a little cooling, just even at room temperature, and you can just rest it on your perineum to help provide a little bit of soothing support as well. If you are not pregnant and you're working potentially on reducing tension in the pelvic floor, maybe you have some trigger points in the pelvic floor, then this is a really great tool to use, again, from an exploratory perspective, to find those trigger points inside and be able to use this almost like you would, so I'm going to use it on my shoulder here, like you've seen massage tools that you get into spots where we're not talking about digging in, but finding places where you can add a little bit of gentle pressure and then let the muscle melt in the presence of that. So we're doing the same thing in the pelvic floor. We are finding spots around, and this is a great tool to use to find those. And then once we find that spot, then we just add a gentle little bit of pressure. So I really love this tool. It's called the Kegel Release Curve, Canadian made. And I invite you to check them out I'll tag them in the post here as well. But in preparing for birth, especially right now, we don't have a lot of resources available to us. There are some midwives, and there are some doctors even who provide some element of perineal massage during visits. But we may not have that option right now. So we need to be able to take care of ourselves. And this is a really great tool to help with that. So that is perineal massage for pregnancy and postpartum support. Oh wait, I forgot one more thing I wanted to say. Getting back to sex postpartum can be really scary. So this can be a little bit less intimidating in terms of it being the first thing that would be inserted after we've given birth. So we may, ideally we've allowed time for the tissue healing to happen, but the thought of something going in after a vaginal birth can be a little bit intimidating. So this being, a little bit smaller can be at least something that we can have a bit more control over in terms of allowing something to be inserted. So it's a great way to reintroduce penetration postpartum. So again, another really great tool. So check out the Kegel Release Curve. I love it.